Even at midnight, there's a long queue outside this emblematic Parisian night spot. This old-fashioned brasserie, open from morning to night, is the place to be for night owls.
You can play doubles. You don't need anything here.
We work in the restaurant business.
We finished our service. We're hungry.
This group of 8 friends from the GEA spent the evening at the Stade de France.
Yes. We come to see rugby matches. We come from the southwest and we have a little aperitif. And then we come to Pied de Cochon. It's normal. It's our little ritual.
Le Pied de Cochon is one of the few restaurants in Paris that never closes its doors. Here you can come at any time of the day or night to enjoy an entrecôte, a seafood platter, but above all the house specialty ordered by 1 in 5 customers, the Pied de Cochon. Before the health crisis, almost half our customers were foreign. Some tourists are back.
You start.
Like these Americans, who came to try a slightly extreme culinary experience. It's full of fat. It really looks like a foot. Those are big toes, right? It's really a toe. Oh my God.
It smells good. It's very delicious.
I'm going to pretend I didn't see that toe.
While catering jobs have been shunned since the COVID crisis, due to working conditions deemed arduous, here we need around 100 employees working 24 hours a day, a never-ending marathon to keep this old institution running. Tightly organized. Starting in the early hours.
I should have my 20 kilos of ears.
Chef Christophe Lemaire receives over a ton of food every week. He checks the quality of the products, and here, the most important thing is the fat.
We're talking about pork chops from the Basque Country, so what I'm checking is mainly the fat part. That's what really gives the meat its taste. We're on the border here, for example. The fat part here is less important. The fat is the taste.
The kitchens are spread over 3 floors. The basement is known as the mine.
That's where everything happens. We'll be finishing the cassoulet.
The brigade of 40 cooks prepares all the day's courses. Gargantuan quantities? 45 kilos of cassoulet?
Go on, Angie, get the potato there.
Up to 300 kilos of home fries. 160 liters of onion soup, one of the restaurant's best sellers.
It's a little something to warm you up in winter. It's what warms my heart.
Traditional French dishes, and above all, lots of pork, in all its forms. From the classic charcuterie board, to pork's croquettes and snails of Bourgogne. Not to mention some even more unlikely recipes.
In this case, we're talking about an ear cooked in stock, cooled and finely sliced for grilling later. You're making me 10 plates of temptation, Ducky. Yes, Chef. Does it work? Yes.
The chef even goes so far as to offer the tail, the snout,
It's the shape of the snout.
and the famous foot. Cooked in court bouillon for 12 hours, then breaded before being roasted in the oven.
Here we see the bone part, of course. The meat and all the gelatin.
Now you're thinking it's not very tasty.
No, it certainly isn't. You have to omit all that gelatin in the pig and all that. Yes, it has a particular taste. After that, it's really for amateurs.
The pig's trotter will be sold for 22 Euros 50. It's been on the menu since the creation of the restaurant a stone's throw from Paris's Halles district. At the time, restaurateur Clément Blanc decided to take the pig's trotters, considered the least noble part of the pig, and cook them in his bistro, open day and night. The success was immediate. At the counter, the Halles merchants were banging away in the midst of the Parisian after-show crowd. Stars such as Josephine Baker and Salvador Dali could be found there. 75 years later, 2 little pigs are even offered with the bill.
Right now I'm laying the meringue in the shape of a pig.
It's from the pig to the dessert.
It has remained the hallmark of the establishment. An omnipresent emblem from floor to ceiling. Over the years, the little bistro has become a 3-story brasserie. It employs over 50 waiters. Some would never have imagined they'd end up in this kind of old-fashioned establishment. Thirty-year-old Romain is starting his 39-hour week today.
These are my work coats. They're the hardest to do.
Who's that ironing them for you?
That's just between us. She's my mom. She's our little link, our little bond. We see each other once a week. I bring him my shirts and pick them up the following week. That way he's sure to see me regularly.
This Parisian got into the restaurant business by chance 3 years ago, when he was still studying town planning.
Ah, it's weird, isn't it? At first I was really anti-uniform. I didn't really want to do a job where you had to wear a uniform every day. It wasn't really a vocation. I had rent to pay and I had to work on the side, but I ended up getting hooked on it. Still, yeah, it's nice, it's lively.
His service will last 10 hours.
Carrots, orange and ham for vitamins because I don't eat much, so it keeps me going.
By joining this institution, Romain discovered an almost military hierarchy. Before duty, briefing by the general. Directeur José Dufour.
That's it for today. So we've already booked about 80 covers. So we're guaranteed to serve between 200 and 220 covers this lunchtime.
I'll give you the rouse now. Aurélie will be in the Petit Jardin. Matthias will be on the 30 with Romain. Good service.
Good luck to you all and see you soon.
Romain's objective: to quickly serve as many customers as possible in his 25-cover row.
Bonjour, madame.
Hello.
A little naughtiness to start with. You're welcome.
He's working that day under Matthias, 16 years with the company.
There will be 2 Lyonnais sausages to start with.
Dressed in a bow tie, he's a maître d'hôtel. He's the highest-ranking person in the dining room. His role?
Then
Take
onion
orders
soup?
and supervise the entire department.
You can anticipate a little already? Great.
As chef de rang, Romain is in charge of serving, clearing, and cashing up.
Thank you, sir. It's your toasted foot. So far, so good. You get overwhelmed by the stress, and when you get overwhelmed, it's very difficult to get back down. Usually you call for help, so you call the maître d'hôtel. But this is, Matthias is easy to work with. Matthias is a bit of a war machine. Here, I'll give you the menus. He's already done it.
To encourage the front-of-house staff to keep up the pace, they are paid according to sales. 15% of the result, distributed according to rank and seniority, with a guaranteed minimum equivalent to the minimum wage in the hotel industry.
You're welcome. I'll give you the pigs back.
As chef de rang, Romain earns an average of 1,500 euros net per month. That's 100 euros more than the minimum wage in the hotel industry, plus a tip of between 700 and 1,000 euros.
One muscle marinière, one grilled foot, two grilled feet.
In the kitchen, the chef and his brigade turn out nearly 3 plates a minute.
2 gratins. Chilo, please remove that. Send me the pass, damn it.
A pace far removed from Christophe's original universe, he trained with 3-star chefs such as Alain Ducasse and Joël Robuchon. He now delivers far less sophisticated dishes, such as this pork loin confit for 25,50 euros, or this andouillette for 23,50 euros.
When I first arrived, in the first Saturday evening services I did, there were the vouchers lying around on the floor. That's when I started to get worried, wondering where I got to. It's exciting, it's different every day. There's no monotony, I'll tell you that. It really gets me going.
As a result, customers rarely have to wait more than 10 minutes between ordering and the first bite of the fork.
I think it's an ear.
Is that a pig's ear?
The average bill is 50 euros. And the bill can quickly soar when you've decided to treat yourself, like these 2 friends who've come to celebrate a birthday. Champagne, saucisson lyonnais, lobster and shellfish.
Is this the place for you? Getting back to institutions that are very... Institutions, which suits us fine. The service, what we have, the setting. The atmosphere, we go here quite often.
And finally, profiterole and Paris Brest. A feast for 209 euros.
Here you go, ma'am.
Sir and ladies, please.
8 months after the reopening of the restaurants, the brasserie is close to regaining the same level of patronage as before the health crisis. Not all foreigners have returned, but the Pinot Foundation, which opened just opposite the restaurant, is attracting new customers.
I need 3 people here. 3 people.
Manager José Dufour knows he could accommodate even more people. The queue grows longer, while the second floor remains desperately empty. The manager hasn't been able to open it for lack of manpower. He's short 5 waiters, or 10% of the floor staff.
Here we have 50 seats for a lunch. It's a rotation and a half, so 75 people could have been accommodated in this area. That I made them wait. On the whole, everyone agreed to wait, except for 2 tables of 6 who were in a hurry and didn't want to be outnumbered.
Over the course of a day, this can mean a loss of several thousand euros. Since the beginning of the health crisis, 237,000 employees have left the hotel and catering sector, disavowed for its working conditions and long hours. José consults the parent company's recruitment platform every day. But there's no shortage of applicants.
Only 3 applications were received for the position of receptionist, even though the position was opened on October 20.
That's 1 month earlier.
So there's this problem too. You leave a message and most of the time people don't call you back.
The plant manager finds it hard to understand this lack of interest in the profession. He hasn't counted his hours since he started out as an apprentice 45 years ago.
It's sad to see that this profession is attracting fewer and fewer people, even though it's a profession where there's quite a bit of social mobility, better than in some professions. I've got plenty of examples of young people coming back to work for us at just 18 and 25 because they've worked hard, because they've learned to love this profession, and have progressed to the position of maître d'hôtel or even higher.
The week before, José Dufour was due to start a new hostess. But the young lady failed him a few days before she was due to start. Back to square one. Today, the manager is meeting another candidate.
I'll be waiting for you, don't worry. See you later, thank you.
She's already 25 minutes late.
We did have an appointment at 3:30, but you have to be tolerant, you have to be tolerant.
A faux pas he would have considered inadmissible a few years ago. But José can no longer be picky.
Go ahead, Nomi, make yourself comfortable.
He even starts by flattering the candidate about her background. Nomi, 20 years old, has just finished a BTS in tourism. She's looking for a part-time job.
In terms of language, you're fluent in English.
Yes, English.
Cambridge English certificate,
Yes, I passed it this year.
well done. For me, the hostess mission is a little bit about what comes out of you. It's about presentation.
Oui.
The savoir-être, the savoir-vivre, the smile. I think I can say that you have these qualities.
The roles are reversed. It's no longer up to Noémie to convince, but up to the owner to extol the virtues of his establishment.
She explained.
It's really one of our strong points, the decor. When you walk into the restaurant, you can tell it's a wow effect, and we're still one of the few restaurants that pays its front-of-house staff on a percentage basis. But today we're at a high sales level. I'm not worried about paying you well, mind you.
On a 24-hour-a-week contract, Nomi can expect to earn up to 860 euros net per month.
Listen, Naomi, it's been a real pleasure meeting you.
Although José would have preferred a full-time employee, he'll start her the following week. A small victory, but there are still 5 vacancies to fill.
Would you like a drink while you wait? Yeah, sure.
It's 10:07.
All right, let's do it.
Romain has already been running for 5 hours. He's halfway through his shift.
Did you cash the table? Oui. Va manger, alors?
Alléluia. Merci.
It's the regulation 1-hour lunch break. Romain won't be choosing his dish à la carte.
A moment I love.
The staff have their own menu, concocted by the cooks.
A gratin. Hopefully there's some left over for the last people to arrive the evening shift. Now we're out of dessert. The desserts are quickly stripped down, which is what goes away the fastest.
No pig on the menu, but the same decor as the customers. Romain prefers to eat alone under the chandeliers than in the staff room.
We're looking for a little peace and quiet, more than anything else. We know it's going to start up again right away, so it's time to relax. The rhythm is hard because it requires concentration. Don't lose the rhythm, don't slack off, because sometimes you're constantly on the edge of the tide for an entire day. So you have to get used to it. But if I can do it, we can do it.
Romain finishes his day in a few hours.
Good evening.
Evelyn has just started her day.
How are you?
49 years old, with 15 years experience in the business, this head waiter is the only woman on the team to work night shifts. It's 8 o'clock in the evening. Her shift will last until 7 a.m.
What rank am I? 30 with you.
A rhythm against the grain for this mother of 6.
Hello. Good evening. It's my little family here.
Evelyn has 3 daughters and 3 sons. The youngest still lives with her. She waited until he was 14 to start working nights.
My granddaughter. I'm grandma.
Evelyn is happy with her unusual hours. There's no night shift bonus in the restaurant business. But she gets 3 extra days off a year and all her weekends to enjoy her large family. The other side of the coin. Managing a festive clientele. Sometimes a little too alcoholic. But when it comes to dealing with partygoers, Evelyn is convinced that being a woman is an asset.
Sometimes in the evening, at night, late, around 2 in the morning, when they see that it's a woman, and above all, I'm not young, I'm not in my 20s or 30s, so when they see, sometimes they manage to calm down. I've seen several who have even called me mom at times. I've never had a party that got out of hand in any way.
Throughout the night, waves of customers come and go. At 4:30, a few night owls are still scratching at the door. Sophia and the security guard assesses their level of drunkenness.
We just like some onion soup before our flight.
How many? 5 people. But we have to be selective. Sometimes he takes my hand when I refuse. That's it. It's not easy. It's not easy, but hey, it's what we do.
In the early hours of the morning, the brewery becomes a beacon for night workers. For garbage collectors, coffee is always on the house.
We're here, we wake up at 4 in the morning, but there's no time for that. We have to hurry so we can finish the collection.
Have a nice day. Ciao, ciao.
It's 7 o'clock.
See you tomorrow, Sofiane.
End of shift for Evelyn. She'll be heading home just in time to bump into her son before he leaves for school. Half an hour on the metro, in the middle of Parisians on their way to work. Evelyn lives on the outskirts of Paris, in a low-income housing project. "17-year-old Benjamin has just rolled out of bed. He's in premiere."
Yes.
Are you tired now?
Yes, a little. It's starting to go down.
Yes. Frankly, I'm brave too. It's pressure. In any case, it's not a job I could do.
Some days I can't see the light of day. When I get home, when I finish at 6, it's still dark. And by the time I get there, I go to bed and wake up at 4 when the night also sort of starts to fall, and then I don't see the day. Have a nice day. Okay? The night begins for me.
Evelyn will sleep until mid-afternoon. Before the health crisis, the brewery had never closed its doors in over 70 years of existence.